So think with me on this wavelength for just a second. In Genesis chapter 4, you have the story of man's civilization. Here's the difference in the Adam and Eve Edenic story and the Cain and Abel post-Edenic story. Adam and Eve are in Eden, and they eat from the tree, and they talk to the snake, and they lean into self-consciousness and all the hell that comes with that, and then they clothe themselves, and they separate themselves from God, and all these powerful theological sermons, but it's direct creation from God. Cain and Abel are the first offspring. They're the first, I know this is going to sound odd, but stay with me. They're the first humans. Okay, I know Adam and Eve are human, but Adam's from God and a bunch of dirt, and Eve's right out of Adam's side. And the point of that story is, these are made in God's image, and this is what happened when you ignore your image bearer and you feast off the wrong tree. Okay, Cain and Abel start to represent the actual civilization of humanity. They are the offspring of Adam and Eve, and therefore Cain and Abel are actually much closer to you and I than the Adam and Eve story, because you and I aren't grabbed up out of the dirt and God breathes in our nostrils. We are in effect, but not in reality. And so Cain and Abel, though, they got a mom and a dad, and they have to deal with each other. And guess what? So do we. We have a mom and a dad. We have family. We have bloodlines. We have heritage. We have countries. We have a place. We have a property, and we have each other. And we got to learn how to get along. And the Cain and Abel story is we're not very good at that. And Cain kills Abel, and God talks to Cain, and you know all the hell that ensues in that story. Did you notice when the story ends and Cain goes, man, my punishment's greater than I can bear. Anywhere I go, people are going to want to kill me. And God goes, not so, because I'm going to put a mark on you so that when people see you, they'll leave you alone. That's the first biblical act of true mercy. You deserve to die, but I'm not going to let people kill you. And then God adds this. Listen to this. This is the key to civilization. God says, in fact, anyone that does harm you, they're going to be under a sevenfold curse. Okay. Why does God throw that in? Because God is teaching the family of man this simple lesson. Cain kills Abel. And Cain fears that everyone that sees him is going to want to kill him. What gave him that idea? Why would you want to kill him when you see him? Because the blood of Abel is crying out from the ground, and the family of man is now birthed in a system of reciprocity. People should get what they deserve. People should get what they have coming. And Cain goes, that's what's going to happen. And God says, I'll tell you what, if that happens, 7 times problem's going to come down on the guy that hurt you. Folks, that's the broad path to destruction. So God says to Cain, look, if you walk down, listen, human family, he's not just saying it to Cain, he's saying it to the readers of Cain. He's saying it to us. Listen, human family, if you respond to the death of Abel by killing Cain, if you respond to harm by harming others, he goes, you will incur 7 times worse on your own head, because that's the way the system of the world works. It isn't just somebody hurts you, you hurt them back. It's somebody hurts you, you hurt them back, and you keep hurting, and you keep hurting, and you keep hurting, and you keep hurting. 7 is that full, perfect number. It wasn't God saying it'll happen only 7 times, not 8. It was God saying the hurt and the pain that happens in you will be total and complete. And then Cain's kid. This part doesn't get talked about enough either. Cain's kid, Lamech, comes along in Genesis 4. And he makes this statement. I killed a man who tried to hurt me. If Cain is avenged 7-fold, may I be avenged 77-fold. That's God giving us another lesson. He goes, let me show you what happens when you go down the Cain road of reciprocity. It will get to where you won't just kill because someone killed you. It'll get to where you kill because someone hurt you. That's the next step. In other words, here's what happens on the Broadway. We don't just give people what they did to us back. We give people more than they did to us back. They hurt me, I kill them. And 77 times pain falls upon that. What's God saying? You want to know how bad the hell's going to be if you live in a world where people hurt you and you hurt them back 10 times more than they hurt you because you don't want them to be able to hurt you again? He goes, folks, guess where we're going? This is a downward spiral. And he goes, the pain that happens inside of you is off the charts. Now, how many of us know that to be true? That's a system we can't live in. Okay? So Jesus and Peter are having a conversation. And Peter says to Jesus, Lord, I got this guy, and he wronged me, and you've told me to forgive him. Now listen, it's not natural for Peter to forgive him. You want to know what's natural? The broad way that leads to destruction. You don't just hurt the guy, you hurt the guy and his kids. I know maybe not literally, but you don't just respond the way he hurt you, you hurt him back. That's the Lamech way of reciprocity. So Peter goes, this guy asked me to forgive him, and I did. You can almost hear it in Peter's voice like, I did. Good for me, right? And then he did it again. How many times am I supposed to do this? Remember this story? And what strange number does Jesus come up with? Jesus goes, 70 times 7 will you forgive the man. And it wasn't lost on a Jewish audience that Jesus has just said, listen, if you want to go down the way of Cain and Lamech, it's easy. When they wrong you, get them back. You want to forgive them once? Fine. They do it to you twice? Too bad. Now it's on them. And don't just get them back. Get them back. I mean, don't just hit them. Knock them down so they don't do it to you again. They cheat you in business. You cheat them back. You rip them. They rip you off. You rip them back. They hurt you physically. You kill them physically. He said, you can go through this way all you want. He said, but you want to know the opposite way? He goes, 70 times 7. He goes, let me introduce you to this is what I think that what happens in the way of the world is the compounding interest of Cain's reciprocity. The compounding interest of Cain's reciprocity is 7-fold curse, 77-fold curse. Just hell keeps stirring the more I keep playing the game of the world. What's the compounding interest of the kingdom? 70 times 7. It's inexhaustible how much I will give you what he has given me. Yeah, but he wronged me again. It is inexhaustible to reach into the well of the love of the Father and give it. Why? Because that's the kingdom I signed up for. And it's not as if I'm trying to jump up there and live that good. It's because I'm responding to a God who is that good, who looks at me and goes, all right, I'll forgive you 70 times 7. Oh, you did it again? I'll forgive you 70 times 7. Oh, you did it again. And we don't ever get God going, you did it again? You know, the Father doesn't corner us and say, listen, that's it, man. I'm done. And you go, why doesn't God get finished? Because he's not living in Cain's system.